Chapter 1. Independence, Missouri, 1854. It was enough to make her soul shake. 6 months and 2,000 miles, 100 ramshackle wagons filled with farmers and their families, or worse, shopkeepers. Did these people have any idea of what lay before them? Hannah Parker sighed as she stared at the western horizon, then turned and examined the long line of wagons camped along the Missouri River. They needed to get started if they were to beat the mountain snows. At least that was what everyone said, but the council insisted they wait until the grass was ready. That was the problem. Too early, and there wasn't enough grass to support the stock. Too late, and the wagons would be trapped in the mountains. A delicate balance between success and death. A cold shiver ran down her spine as she remembered the stories about the Donner Party. It was enough to make a girl wonder about her father's sanity. They said 1 in 10 pioneers didn't make it to the end. Disease, Indians, accidents. They all whittled away 10% of the company. It was so far, she thought with a shudder. Turning around, she looked across the river at Independence, and then back east at what they had left behind. Friends, family. Her father had a good practice, a respected doctor who the town relied upon, but he'd given it all up to cart her and her 2 brothers across a continent. Her heart squeezed tight as she thought about her father. He hadn't been the same man since her mother's death. Lost, searching for something. Unfortunately, she doubted he would ever find it. Instead, he had launched them on this foolish adventure. Gritting her teeth, she pushed down the bitterness building inside of her. Her opinion had never been asked. Instead, her father had dictated what they would do. A small regret filled her. Perhaps she should have accepted James's proposal. A woman of 20 should be married with children after all. Unfortunately, there had been no love, no passion. But at least he was safe, she thought with a laugh. She would never have to fear being forced into an adventure like this. Hannah smiled to herself as she tried to imagine James ever doing anything adventurous. The man had never been more than a few miles from the farm he was born on, and he was perfectly all right with that. To him, risk was to be avoided at all cost. It was amazing he'd ever gathered the courage to ask for her hand. Not exactly an attractive quality in a man, but safe. She had to give him that. Sighing to herself, she turned for the wagon so she could start dinner. "Man coming!" Jacob called out. Hannah lifted a hand to shield her eyes as she followed her littlest brother's gaze to see a big man on a sandy dun leading a pack horse. Coming from the west, the sun cast him in shadow.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.